Us South Africans to come to the reality that we cannot progress while we have other African countries on our backs. And for us to progress, it's not going to work. Recently, Moeletsi Mbeki, right, the brother of the former South African President Thabo Mbeki, made revelations against the Frelimo government of Mozambique that they were systematically selling heroin on the South African shores. And these people are our so-called neighbors, right? This is Mozambique, right? Let's take another example of North Africans, for instance. North Africans do not consider themselves to be African. They see themselves as Middle Eastern. And you can see by the way that they look, by their culture, by their religion, they do act as Middle Eastern, but yet they don't see themselves as Africans, even if they are located on the African continent. Nigerians were evicted from Libya. In fact, there are many stories of dark-skinned Africans held as slaves in Libya, right? Look at countries like Cameroon, countries like Equatorial Guinea, where the presidents have been in power for more than 30, 35 years in power without being opposed. And it's actually not that they weren't opposed, it's just that the way that they elect, their ballots aren't secret, meaning that anyone can see who you're voting for, right? So obviously there's a fault, right? Look at countries like Chad, Mali, countries that are in constant state of war. Look at the Horn of Africa, countries. Horn of Africa is on the eastern. Patrick.
No, wait. Let me mute him.
Yes, Horn of Africa is on the upper eastern section of Africa. Upper eastern, just right above Kenya, right? And Horn of Africa comprises of Eritrea, Somalia, Djibouti, Sudan. These countries are in a constant state of war. So how can we unite with these countries if they are struggling to contain the war and the contradictions that happen in their country? So my solution is that as South Africans, we should accept things for what they are. We should stop allowing these people to sell us the dream of Africa, and we should stop allowing people to tell us that we are African and Pan-Africanism, and we as Africa are people from this continent, and we should stop that. We should stop. We South Africans should align with countries that are prospering like us, like Botswana, like Namibia, and look to other partners outside of the continent where we can benefit the citizens of our people and create jobs and create opportunities and make our countries successful. We are tired of Zimbabweans. We are tired of Nigerians selling drugs and running prostitution rings onto our country. And us being labeled as xenophobic. It's wrong. Somebody has to say it. You understand?
Okay.
Somebody has to say it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to open the mic for. Is it Claude? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you. Listen, thank you so much, Ziki. It has been 3 weeks. Don't know what was happening with my settings, but I couldn't log in using your link. Okay. Thank you so much. I need to just mention a few things, people. I'm a South African. And without going into more details, I have a bit of a problem with the whole attitude towards the problems that are happening in South Africa. Wherever you speak, we are told education. There's absolutely nothing like that. There is no skill shortage in SA. There is no skill shortage. And we need to go back to the core of what the issue is. We have a country that at the bottom of it, the older generation were only able to get Bantu education. But in as far as the past 28 years is concerned,
what's happening to the mic?
Sorry. Is there something wrong with the mic?
No, no, go ahead.
Okay. In as far as the past 28, if we were to go back to 1994 up to 2002, there is a lot of graduates. I, as a matter of fact, went as far as my master's qualifications, or those that come after me have got your honors degree and all sorts of things. The question is this: where are these people supposed to work? Where are they? Because at the end of the day, I've worked with all. I've worked with doctors from Nigeria. I've worked with Zimbabweans. I've been lucky in that I started working at the age of 18, right? So I was able to actually understand and work with different people coming from different parts of Africa. The question is this: if we are talking about informal, my argument has always been at the informal level, those positions or jobs must be exclusively for South Africans who never got the benefit of what democracy is. These are people who were able to obtain Bantu education, if any. There is no way, there is no country that can accommodate people at informal level at the rate that South African is able to. And it's impossible. And the other thing is this: squatter camps were never meant to be a place of residence, people. Everyone who's in a squatter camp, and mostly they're in urban areas, they're in those areas in order to seek employment. So a foreigner, and I'm not even going to talk illegality or legality of documents here. You are a foreigner, you come into a country and you go to a place and you live in a place like that, a squatter camp. People where most situations, you'll find that 95% of them are unemployed. And what are you expecting? I've never seen the professionals, and I'm talking about your medical doctors, your people in finance, your IT, foreigners. They who are crying the same as those that are living in squatter camps. So you can even tell this is more of the environment. But a foreigner who actually comes in South Africa with qualifications legally, they've never really had issues with this thing. So at the end of it, I really, really doubt. And I mean, I've had this conversation with family and friends. There is no xenophobia, people. It's resources, resources, resources. So the other aspect of it is this. The question is this. Right now, I decided to buy a meal at Ocean Basket. And I will tell you what is happening at Ocean Basket. None of the employees get salaries.
Wow.
None of the employees get salaries. They are all Zimbabweans. The nonsense. You see what I mean? The nonsense. None of them. They are there working for tips.
Yes.
And you call that, and you think that is what is called employment. That is not employment.
Wow.
We can do better, Africans. We can do better. This is not the South Africa we want. We can do much better. You cannot be on your feet 12 hours at Ocean Basket for nothing. That's not.
Wow. Yeah, this is something else, eh? You are still there, or is there anyone who wants to respond to? I think I need to open. Patrick has been there for a long time. Go ahead, Patrick. Patrick, unmute, please.
Okay, hello, how are you doing, Ziki?
I'm fine. Thank you for joining us. Please go ahead.
Thank you for accepting me. Hey, Ziki, you know this issue. It's very much serious. It's very much serious in a way that the way that now it has escalated. It has escalated in a way that's it's difficult for anyone to prevent it, because the way people have been asking the government to try and resolve this issue, it has took so long for the government to respond. And I'm not even sure if he's willing to respond to this situation or not, because now the way that the people are taking the matter to their own hands, it's very much scary. It's very much scary. For me, as someone who's living in a township, I've been seeing so much of things happening. Things that are similar to this issue that you are talking about. I've been seeing foreigners that are doing bad things. Selling drugs and stuff. Also doing bad things to the communities, and I've also seen like foreigners that are involved in in a all these kind of things that we are against, human trafficking. But then for me, it's hard for me to blame the people of my community when they try to take the matter into their hands, because the people have been reporting to the government to try and deal with these kind of issues, but the government, he keeps on trying to promising the people that the matter will be resolved, but yet up until now, this kind of matters hasn't been resolved. So for me to see such things happening to my fellow Africans, it's really painful. It's really painful because I do understand the struggle that these people have been dealing with. Coming from their countries. The struggle that they are facing in the countries is very much difficult. Yes, I do know, and I do understand, and I do hope that the best one day will come. The one day resolve these issues that are facing in the countries. But now, for us, to also we are dealing with this situation where there are many of us who are unemployed. Yes, there are many foreigners in these countries who have been employed, and for the government, to allow such things to happen, it's a pity. It's a pity because now it seems like our government is putting the foreigners, before us, as the as the people of this country, and now you see such things will keep on carrying on. We'll be seeing more and more of our people, killing foreigners and doing bad things to them. Tell the truth, for me, Ziki, for me, I recently quitted my job. Quitted my job, and the reason to that, it was because where I was working, they recently hired more foreigners, and they said, the reason they're hiring more foreigners, because foreigners, they're not like us South Africans, because us, we want we want this lump sum wages. We want this lump sum wages, while the foreigners, they do not want, they do not want lump sum wages. They just want to work. But then you ask yourself, me, I'm not a foreigner. I was born and raised here, and yeah, we know that the expenses here are very, very high, So now for me to allow 2.5 per month, how am I gonna overcome my ends meet? That's very difficult. But then seeing those foreigner guys accepting such a low wages, that's really breaks my heart. That's really breaks my heart now to see these guys. How can you accept such wage? 2.5. What are you gonna do with that? But then again, for me, the reason I recently quit my job is because what, I didn't wanna keep on fighting with my fellow African brothers, foreigners. So I thought to myself, because I'm seeing that, okay, I cannot win this battle on my own, because now it seems like there are more foreigners than I. So I recently decided, let me just quit this job, because either way, I'm not gonna win. So this thing that you are dealing with is very much painful. It's very painful. But then I'm putting blame to our government. I'm putting blame to our government because the reason these whole things are happening is because the government, he's the one who's allowing these things to happen. Because at politics, how the politics like. Okay, I'm not involved in the politics. I don't want to involve myself to the politics because the things that is happening there, I really don't understand how things are being dealt with there. But then again, these things are very much painful. It's very much painful. For me, I do wish one day to also, go abroad, to also go to other countries, and experience life, and experience life, so that But then, yes, I do very much understand that if I'm going to other countries, I cannot just go to other countries just because I'm saying, it's my country. My country is in my country, there is one and two that I don't like, while I'm going to the country, and then I'm like, I'm not bringing a proper documentation like it's happening right now. Foreigners are not coming with a proper documentation. They just flowing into our country, without any documentation, and so on, all these things that's the government requires, But for me, to go to other countries, I'm very much aware that I have to be proper. I have to bring all the requirements that have been needed into the country. So that I will not live as as an illegal immigrant. You see. So I just think it's very much painful. It's very much painful because seeing Africans, Africans fighting one another. That is really painful because we know that in other countries, we as Black people, they don't like us. Speaking about other races, we know that they don't like us. Of which I'm not sure why they don't like us, but I don't think it's just about the color of our skin. But we know that in other countries they don't like us. So now it's the best time for us as Africans to unite, and try to come up with a better solution to how we can build up our own continent, so that the young generation to come, they will experience a better life than us, But us now, like fighting one another like this, is very much painful. It's very much painful because I'm not sure where does the future of Africa lies right now. Where does the future of Africa lies right now? So yes, I do hope that we'll find a better solution. And I do pray and hope that my fellow Africans, from in their country, whatever situation that they're dealing with, I do pray that God do answer the prayers, and that they do also sort out their own issues there in the country, so that they'll also live a good life. Because even here in South Africa, we're not living a good life here. There's so much that we are dealing with, that we wish that we could overcome, but it's difficult for us to overcome because there's so much of shortages.
Okay, thank you, brother. But you had finished, right? Okay, if you have got something more to say, you can just hold on a little bit. I need to open mic. He has been holding on for a long time.
Okay,
Is it Mia? Am I what?
Yeah, I've been holding on for a while now.
Hi.